Hey guys, welcome to Get In Line, our first ever podcast here on Long Island. I'm Tyler Zukowski with my co-host Joe Vigolucci, and this podcast is just mainly about what's going on in the sports world. We're mostly going to be talking about what's going on in the NFL and the NBA, but we're not afraid to reach out and talk about other sports, what's going on in the world. So Joe, just to get it kicked off, how do you feel about the wild card weekend that just came out this past weekend?
There was a lot of good football. I love watching football. There was a lot of good games. Obviously, the Colts-Texan game was a blowout, but I liked every game. My favorite game was the Cowboy game. I mean, just because I'm a Cowboy fan, but
The Cowboys still suck, so.
I mean, they won the game. So I like all the games were good. I liked watching it. If we're going to start talking about one game in particular, I would like to talk about the Colts game because I think the Colts destroyed the Texans. I think they outplayed them. The coaching staff on the Colts is ridiculously smart and good. Andrew Luck, MVP caliber quarterback.
Now, Joe, just to point out on that topic, do you think that the Colts can go into Kansas City and beat the Chiefs this year?
Yeah, I think they're going to. I picked the Texans to beat the Colts by 1 point. I thought Houston was going to come in fiery. Deshaun Watson was going to light it up.
And at home too, at Houston.
In Houston, exactly. And I thought that Andrew Luck was going to get a little. I knew he was going to show up, and I knew that offensive line was going to show up, but I just thought Houston's offense was going to get the better of that Colts defense. But I was wrong. Darius Leonard's a freak.
Colts offensive line is absolutely insane.
The best
Joe.
offensive line in the league. They led up in the regular season less than 20 sacks. They are crazy good. I believe in the Colts.
And a healthy Andrew Luck.
Andrew Luck is an MVP, top 5 quarterback in the league. To me, that's unarguable. I don't think you can say that he's not a top 5 quarterback in the league. And I know
agree with you.
The Chiefs are a very good team. They're very, very good. Obviously, they're 12-4. They won the AFC. They have home field advantage. But I don't, as much of a freak as Mahomes is, I don't trust him. This is his first playoff game.
He's going to be nervous. He's going to be anxious.
Yes, and that's just normal for everybody. But I just think the Colts are hot. They started off the season 1-5. They ended off 10-6. Blew Houston out the water, and that was their third meeting of the season. They blew Houston out of the water. I thought it was going to be a more competitive game. After seeing that, me being proven wrong, obviously Andrew Luck proved me wrong on the Colts. Frank Reich, that coach he's a beast. That offensive line, Quentin Nelson, everybody. I love everybody on that team. I really do. I believe that the Colts are going to go to Kansas City. They're going to win by 3 points. Mahomes is going to do his thing.
So do you think it's going to be a high-scoring game, or how do you feel? Do you think Andrew Luck's going to go off? Or Patrick Mahomes? I feel like Patrick Mahomes might throw for 300 yards, 3 touchdowns, but he's going to have 2 picks in that game, and that's going to be the deciding factor.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think that he's gonna light it up. He's gonna have 3 touchdowns. Tyreek Hill is going to do his thing. Kelsey's going to do his thing. Running back? What running back? They don't have no running back.
Exactly.
Darius Leonard and that Colts defense is going to eat the running game up. They're going to get no rushes. Their rushing attack is going to be terrible. Mahomes is going to be having to carry that offense.
And the Chiefs defense not going to be able to do anything about the Colts offensive line.
Yes,
best in football, maybe?
Yes, they are the best offensive line in football. And this is coming from a Cowboy fan. Our identity is usually the offensive line. But the Colts, I believe in Andrew Luck. I believe in what they got going on down there in Indy. I really think that they're going to shock the world. They're going to beat the Chiefs, and then they're going to move on to the AFC Championship. And you can debate me on that if you think the Chiefs are going to win. I think
I'm going to agree with you, Joe. I do think the Colts are going to win against the Chiefs. You know, we were having this argument a couple days ago with our friends, and most of them thought the Chiefs were going to win. But I think we're pretty optimistic about, again, the Colts offensive line. You know, Andrew Luck having great season, even after starting 1-5, going
season.
Exactly 10-6 now. But wouldn't be surprising if Mahomes and the Chiefs do win. Not going to surprise me. But it wouldn't surprise me either if the Colts win.
Yeah, I'm not giving the Chiefs no shot. Of course, they're the best team. They're one of the best teams of football, if not the best team. They are set up perfectly. The coach is a legend. Andy Reid's a legendary coach.
But he's known to
choke in the playoffs.
Yes.
He hasn't gone anywhere.
Think about last year. I know they had Alex Smith.
Yeah,
but again, coaching staff, right?
Yeah, that hasn't changed. But the quarterback, Mahomes, is a freak.
Definitely, because MVP maybe this season,
Alex Smith is no Mahomes.
Exactly.
So that's why that Mahomes might change the game up and makes things exciting, which I like to see. But again, this is his first playoff game. Essentially, Mahomes is a rookie. He was a backup last year all season. This is his first playoff game. I say this about all first playoff people, quarterbacks in the playoffs. Look at Lamar Jackson yesterday.
Yeah.
He didn't do nothing.
Yeah, let's touch on the Chargers game now.
Okay.
I think everybody almost could have expected the Chargers to win that game, even though they weren't even home. They went 12-4, but again, you just got to win your division in this league.
The Ravens, I thought the Chargers was going to win. I predicted that was the game that I got right. I went 2 for 4 this past week. But Lamar Jackson's a different type of quarterback. That guy is he's taking Flacco's job.
Rookie year too.
Yeah, Flacco just is going to get traded. There's rumors of him getting traded.
I would not be surprised. If this is Lamar Jackson's team, even though he didn't admit it in the press conferences, he knows that it's his team. It's his time to shine. He's 21 years old, Joe?
He came in.
Led them to the playoffs. And didn't you hear about after week 11, had the most rushing attempts by a QB and didn't even start till week 11.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. He led the league in rushing yards ever since he came in.
Very mobile.
Yeah, and that's like a Michael Vick type of quarterback. I'm not, we have comparison. We're going to compare him to Michael Vick because he's just that type of player.
Yeah.
But he's no Michael Vick yet. But, this game, they were down, 12-0 at half, and then they lost the game 23-17. They were down at one point 23-3. Yeah. Lamar Jackson lit it up in the fourth quarter. It just wasn't enough. But he fumbled the ball too many times.
He threw an interception. And the running back, I think, had 1 or 2 fumbles, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, the running back. Yes, exactly. So it's I believe that the Ravens are going to be very, very good in the future. That coach is very good. John Harbaugh is a very good coach. That defense is scary, scary, scary. I would not want to go up against that defense, but Phillip Rivers and the Chargers, that team to me, they're very underrated. Nobody pays attention to the Chargers. They have no fan base.
Exactly.
The Chargers to me.
Well, now since they moved to LA, maybe a
little bit, but the Rams kind of take over. But the Chargers, they have, tell me where they have a fault. They don't have faults anywhere. They have Phillip Rivers.
They're a very underrated team.
Yeah,
Phillip Rivers, potentially Hall of Fame quarterback.
Melvin Gordon, just a top 5 running back, arguably.
Keenan Allen,
top 5 receiver. Yep. That defense is one of the best defenses in the league. Joey Bosa is probably one of the best defensive linemen. Yep. Derwin James, the rookie safety. Not many people know about him. He made the All-Pro team. Him and Darius Leonard, which is why I love him.
And they're rookies.
Yeah, they're rookies. They made the All-Pro team.
I think it's like what linebackers, Joe. We were talking about this the other day. It's there's certain categories. You have 5 or 6 good linebackers, and then it's the rest of the league.
Yeah.
You have Aaron Donald, you have Khalil Mack.
Well, Aaron Donald's he's a defensive
you know what I mean? Yeah. Best defensive players. You have Aaron Donald, you have Khalil Mack, you have Von Miller, you have J.J. Watt. And then it's the rest of the league.
Yeah, and Joey Bosa is going to become somebody like that.
And then, Darius Leonard, even though he's a rookie, he has very high expectations.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. But I really like what the Chargers are doing, and but I do they're going against New England, and the bye week I think helps New England because they, the Patriots, they are not the same Patriots that we're used to dominating the league. They went 11-5, but 11-5 for the Patriots is a bad season.
Yeah, we're used to them going 13-3, 12-4.
Yeah, 14-2. Yeah. They won when they beat Atlanta 2 years ago. They went 14-2. Last year they went 13-3. I'm pretty sure. So they New England, yes, they're not the same team, but. The Chargers to me are the most complete team in football, along with the New Orleans Saints, and maybe the Colts. But
it's just like you said, Tom Brady. He's one of the greatest, if not the greatest.
I believe he's the best.
He's the GOAT. He's the GOAT. Yeah, you officially say that. So you have who's going into the Patriots this year? The
Chargers.
Chargers going into
New England.
Foxborough.
They're not beating the Patriots. I don't believe in
with Bill Belichick and Tom Brady.
Yes,
Tom Brady, even though 41, 42 years old, 40 years old, whatever he is.
The best quarterback and the best coach of all time on the same team.
And Tom Brady's, 5 for 8 in Super Bowls, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty
5
sure.
rings?
5 rings.
That's insane.
But don't discount the Chargers, though.
No, I'm not at all. Yeah,
I would pick the Chargers if this game was in Los Angeles, I swear. I'm not even kidding.
No, maybe I would too. Again, they're technically kind of home if you think about it. LA, right?
No, not really.
Well, kind of. LA Chargers and then LA Rams. You think about it. So you think that they have maybe a little bit more fan base if they go to the Rams, if they played at Rams. Do you think that?
Oh, well, no, that game won't happen.
No, if that were to happen, if that ever, not in playoff scenario.
Yeah.
Just regular season. Do you think that if it was a regular season game,
Chargers,
do you
Rams?
you think that the Chargers would be able to beat the Rams?
No, because they didn't. This season they played week 2, they lost.
Besides this season, if they played again, do you think they would win?
No.
Do you think that the Rams would beat them?
I think the Rams would beat them.
So let's just say these two teams met in the Super Bowl.
Mm.
Do you think that the Chargers could beat the Rams?
I think they could, but I don't think they
But you
will.
don't think so?
I just trust, like...
I think the Rams are, like, a complete team.
Yeah, like, the Rams,
The
they're
best
basically...
arguably the best running back in football.
Yeah, I think
Jared
he
Goff
is.
is very streaky, but he's a good quarterback.
He's a solid
They have
quarterback.
the best defensive player in football. He averaged 20.5 sacks, which is insane.
That's the defensive player.
And the next closest player was Khalil Mack with 12.5.
Yeah.
So
It's pretty crazy.
Uh,
Aaron Donald's just a beast. So the Rams, like, if you look at their offseason accusations, like last year, they went to the playoffs. They did pretty good. They won their division. Like, not a lot of people saw that coming, but they did it. And they went to the playoffs, and they were supposed to be good. Then they lost first round at home to the Atlanta Falcons, but we all know that they're trash now. But this year, like, you look at who they signed. They signed Ndamukong Suh, Aqib Talib, they made signs trades for these players. I'm just going to throw out players. Just listen. And this is why that they might go to the Super Bowl. I don't know if they will, but they get Marcus Peters. At the time was top 5 corner when they got him. Aqib Talib, freak of nature cornerback from Denver. Ndamukong Suh, Brandon Cooks. What else am I missing?
It's a very good defensive
What
team.
else am I missing? Brandon Cooks is one of the quickest players in the league on offense.
Yeah.
They just signed people. They built, like, I'm not going to go as far as saying that they're like Golden State, because obviously they're not in basketball, but like the Rams, that's an all-star team. They just took players. They took like big
They drafted players and
they
built them through their coaching system.
They built Goff, they built Gurley, they built Donald, they built all these players, but then they just signed all these big-time players, and that's why they went 13-3.
Yeah.
That's why they're the second team in the
before
the season
like
started.
last year was like a fluke, kind of. They lost to the Falcons.
It was a little bit of a fluke.
But, you know, this year they obviously showed what they're really meant of.
Yeah, that team, they just have too many big-time monster type players. Their offensive line's a beast. Their front seven, like, you can't block them. Like,
I agree with you.
You double cover Aaron Donald, he's still getting past you.
Yeah.
And he's throwing you to the ground. Like,
he's a freak.
Yeah, I don't even know he's a monster. Like, Aaron Donald, those type of players you just can't block.
Yeah.
That's why I think the Rams this week they're gonna. I think the AFC Championship is going to be Colts Patriots.
Okay.
And then I think in the NFC it's going to be Rams Saints. But
NFC Championship.
Yeah, but don't be shocked though if the Eagles beat the Saints or if the Cowboys beat the Rams, because
no, it won't be shocking.
Obviously anything can happen.
Good point there, by the way.
The Cowboys,
how about them Cowboys?
Yeah, I want to talk about
How about them Cowboys?
Everybody's like, kind of
putting the Cowboys down a little bit
all the time. Yeah,
they had a great season
because ever since we had Romo, ever since the '90s, we only have like 2 playoff wins. Now we come in 3 playoff wins.
I know how big you are on the Cowboys.
So, yeah, and I'm not being biased.
Yeah, I know you're not.
Cowboys, let's be real, they have a top 5 defense in the league.
Yeah,
that's unarguable to me.
And Dak Prescott this game played not bad at all.
Dak Prescott is not a bad quarterback.
Not a bad quarterback. He's very streaky, inaccurate, as me and you could agree on that. But he did not play bad at all in this game. He played very well against a Seattle defense who turned it up in the second year of the season. But they really showed that they are this team and are meant to go maybe even to the NFC Championship. If the Cowboys do beat the Rams, like they held the Saints to 10 points early in the season.
But that was in Dallas.
But again, Saints have maybe top 2 offense in the league. So that just shows how much potential this Dallas defense could
definitely.
have.
I think this year they're a year too early. I think like the same thing with the Colts. I think the Cowboys and the Colts are 1 year too early from going places.
Going further than the first or second round.
Yeah, I think next year the Colts, yes, this year they'll be in the AFC Championship, but next year we can talk about them going to the Super Bowl. You know what I mean? This year they could be a Super Bowl team, but they would have to get through, I think, New England or LA, and they're not going to beat LA or New England. I don't think.
And you still got the Chiefs.
And they still might not even beat the Chiefs.
Exactly.
So it's I think they are, but
it's just I think I was very surprised again about the Chiefs. Just to go back on that for a second about how well they did this season. I don't think anybody expected that. Patrick Mahomes technically not a rookie.
Yeah.
Only second year, but first year playing basically the whole season.
First year starter.
And he had 5,000 passing yards and 50 touchdowns, but 12 picks.
Mm.
So if anything, just to go back, if the Chiefs when they play this week, the only thing that might set them back is Patrick Mahomes throwing 2 or 3 picks. But he does have 4 touchdowns. But those 2 or 3 picks, one of them might be a pick 6.
I think it will be. That's why. I mean, I know we're going back and forth on a lot of these games, but it's good to talk about the Colts. This team, people should be scared to play them. Like, they turned it around, and yes,
and basically 2 of their guys on their offensive line, I'm pretty sure, or one of their guys are rookies.
One of them is a rookie. And he made the All-Pro.
Yeah, and
he's
insane.
He's insane. Yes, their offensive line. You can't, like, the Rams, that would be a fun Super Bowl, Rams-Colts. I would really enjoy that.
Yeah, because I don't think anyone will really expect that.
Yeah,
especially the Colts, maybe
exactly.
the Rams, it's their second seed.
The Colts believe in themselves.
Yeah, they do. They really do. They showed it. They beat the Texans 21-7 at the Texans.
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, healthy Andrew Luck, best offensive line, T.Y. Hilton.
Mm-hmm. One of the best receivers in the league.
And Marlon Mack.
Marlon Mack,
running back.
These last 5 weeks, Marlon Mack.
He's been insane. I'm pretty sure he rushed for over 120 yards last game.
Mm-hmm. No, he's gotten above 100 yards for the last 5 weeks. Every rushing. So he came out of nowhere. But that plays to the coaching and the offensive line. Like, the offensive line is obviously helping him do that. But and protecting Andrew Luck. Luck won't throw picks. But and if you see Houston's defense is a very good defense. And watching the game, with you, we watched the game together. Seeing these receivers, their routes, the plays, everything, they're open. They're not just open. Actually, they're wide open every time. That's
because they create space.
Yeah, they create space. It's the play calling.
Yeah,
it's Andrew Luck being Andrew Luck. Yeah. It's the offensive line. He's
everything. People forgot about him, Andrew Luck.
Mm-hmm. No, I'm
not saying me or you. I'm just saying people in general forgot about him, right?
I thought they were not going to be good this year at all.
Yeah, neither did I. And then they end up going to the divisional round
right now.
Yeah,
arguably they might be the Chiefs.
Yeah,
so all right.
It's like I just want to talk about another game before we get back onto that. The game last night, obviously, we saw what happened. Got to feel bad for the kicker.
Oh yeah,
the Bears. I thought they were going to win. At Soldier Field, you're 12-4. You got Khalil Mack this offseason, signed to a massive contract. You have, I think, maybe the best defense in the league. But you are playing against Super Bowl champs, defending Super Bowl champs. And you just got to feel bad for Barkley in that game.
I do and I don't. This guy, over the season, that was his sixth. That was his
that
sixth time
hit off the post, right?
I know this field goal was blocked. It was blocked.
It tipped, right? We watched the replay a bunch of times.
Yeah, but
you still got to make that.
You still have to make that kick.
43 yards is a long field goal, but he's getting paid millions of dollars to kick the ball. So that's his job.
Yeah.
It's I would think it's the same thing with a quarterback, right? You think about it. I'm just going to bring up an example. I know it's kind of the coaching staff, but the Super Bowl, Russell Wilson throws a pick on the 1-yard line, right? Mm-hmm. That they did a slants play.
Yeah.
You think about it, should he have thrown that pick? He was obviously told, but, that's his job. He arguably, it's either him or Pete Carroll lost that game for them. You had the best running back in the game, Marshawn Lynch, at the time, probably the best running back, at the 1-yard line on 1st and goal, and you throw a slant. I would say the best
running back. I would say the meanest running back.
Yeah, but he could go through anybody on the 1-yard line, 1st and goal. Mm-hmm. So it's just and Mitchell Trubisky is very streaky.
That was the question mark with the Bears. I believed, remember I said before, quarterbacks in their first playoff game never do good. And that's just a thing, and I believe in that. Look at Dak Prescott 2 years ago, 13-3.
Lamar Jackson.
We had the bye. We lost. I mean, he almost came back against Aaron Rodgers, but we lost the game.
But it was against one of the greatest quarterbacks ever.
He played terrible. Lamar Jackson played almost terrible he played terrible until the fourth quarter. But that's what I'm saying. Trubisky, that was his first playoff game. I thought it was a little different because of their defense. Their defense was insane this year. They had more picks than anybody.
Who I thought really showed up this season that we know nothing of?
Who?
Tariq Cohen.
Oh, yeah.
Backup running back for the Bears.
He's not even the backup to me. I don't think...
It's either him or Jordan Howard. They kind of switch carries, but I think you got to give the leading role to Tariq Cohen.
Well, he made the Pro Bowl.
Exactly. And he's 5'6", Joe. He's shorter than me or you. I'm just saying, it's hard over height, right?
Yeah, exactly. And Tariq Cohen's a very good running back. They have receivers. They have a good tight end in Trey Burke. He was out that game. That made that was a difference maker.
Yeah.
That was the guy that threw the Philly special.
Like what you said, Trubisky was a big question mark.
Yeah,
And
you don't know.
He didn't play bad.
He didn't play
He didn't play bad. But they should have won that game.
I don't know if they should have.
That field goal. But I don't know. But
The
Nick Foles had an awful game.
Yeah, he did.
He had an awful game.
But he had a game-winning drive.
Yeah, you're right. No, you're right.
He won the game for
Yeah,
them.
no, you're
He
right.
had the game-winning drive.
Yeah.
Against, now,
And again, like you said before we even talked about this, you said you wouldn't even be shocked if the Eagles won.
yeah,
Because
they're-
defending Super Bowl champs.
You got to give them credit. You got it. People, I hate the Eagles, but I believe
I hate
in
the Eagles,
I
too.
believe in Nick Foles.
Yeah,
I-
big Cowboys fan.
I-
I'm a big Giants fan, so
look, listen, I'm gonna be the first to say it. I'm gonna be the first person to openly say it. I hear all these people on these other talk shows that they say, "Oh, Wentz is better than Foles." If Wentz was in Foles' position, right now, it would be a blowout. Like, that game wouldn't even be a question or something like that. I don't believe that. I think Foles for the Eagles is better.
So do you think they should trade Wentz in the offseason?
Yeah.
You
And
do.
I'm gonna be the first person to say
You
it.
do
I
that.
believe
you
it.
do think they should trade
Because-
Carson Wentz?
Yeah, but look at how they
I think
work.
he's injury prone.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
You don't think.
Yeah, I
He
know.
is injury prone. Wentz, look, this is what it is with the Eagles quarterback. It is a quarterback controversy. It is. The Eagles last year, I know Wentz goes down. They were 11-1 or something when he went down. And then Foles comes in. Nobody thought that the Eagles were going to go anywhere.
And they were the
including
underdogs,
myself,
underdogs through the whole entire playoffs.
Ended up finishing 13-3, get that first round bye. They played.
They
who
played the
They played
Falcons.
the Falcons
Beat the Falcons, but only by three. Only by three. But they were playing against the Falcons, who went to Super Bowl last year.
Mhm.
We won't talk about that. We won't talk about that.
Yeah.
But and then they play
Then they blew out the Vikings.
the
in
Viking and
NFC
NFC, and
Blew
I don't
them
think
out.
anybody thought last year
Yeah.
that the NFC Championship
Yeah.
was going to be.
Case Keenum versus Nick Foles. Yeah, But
And then the Eagles go to the Super
obviously
Bowl.
we all know what happened with that.
Yeah.
They beat the Patriots. That was the most one of the best sports stories of all time, in my opinion. Foles was Super Bowl MVP. I just think
Backup QB,
Yeah,
and they
backup
win their
quarterback.
first Super Bowl ever.
Yeah, so here's the thing with Wentz, and this is why I think Wentz should be traded. Foles started the first 2 games of the season, or it might have been the first 3. They split. They beat the Falcons in the ring ceremony game. Beat the Falcons, lose to the Bucs. But that was a fluke with the Buccaneers with Fitzpatrick. But
He just had a good start to the season.
Wentz comes in. They're an average team. But I know injuries in their secondary, everything, they have a lot of problems. They have a lot of issues. But Wentz comes in. They win, lose, win, lose. Then they go on a losing streak. They lost 3 games in a row to the Saints. They lost a lot of games. Not the Rams. The Saints and a couple other teams. Then they play us. They play the Cowboys. We beat them up. They're 6-7. They're ready to give up. Nobody thought 3-4 weeks ago they were going to be in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Nobody.
And
including myself.
even they beat the Bears.
Yeah, exactly. They beat the Bears in the playoffs. So
Team that went 12-4.
12-4, yeah. So, but I'm talking about the regular season.
Yeah, no, I know.
So
I'm just
in the
saying.
regular season, Wentz as their starter, they're 6-7 with Wentz. That's their record. Okay.
Bring in Nick Foles.
With Wentz. Foles comes in because Wentz is injured again.
And then wins 3 straight games.
Not only does he win 3 straight games, he beats the Rams in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Beats the Texans.
Yep.
2 good playoff teams.
Yep.
And then shuts out the Redskins.
Yeah.
Now
Redskins obviously not a playoff team
but
or
they
a
shut
good
him
team.
out.
Yeah,
They
exactly.
shut him out.
Anything like a shutout
Yeah,
is.
and Redskins were starting their 3rd-string quarterback or their 4th-string quarterback, but it's whatever. But you cannot tell me. And they just beat the freaking Bears, the Chicago Bears, who I thought were going to go to the NFC Championship.
Yeah, so did I.
Because
I
of
had
their
them in the
defense.
NFC Championship as well.
It's one of the scariest defenses. The Bears' defense kind of reminds me of the Jaguars from last year, just with Khalil Mack.
Jaguars this year, we won't talk about
Yeah, I
that.
don't even want to talk about Jaguars. But you can't tell me, and I don't understand. I don't understand the mentality of these people that say that they shouldn't trade Wentz. Wentz is a freak. I get that. But the Eagles clearly are an average team with Wentz. And they win, and they make Super Bowl runs with Foles.
Yeah.
Nick Foles should be the starter of the Eagles.
Let me ask you this, would you be surprised if the Eagles go to the Super Bowl this year?
No.
No?
Not at all.
With Nick Foles?
No. I would not be surprised.
Would you be surprised if they won it?
Maybe a little bit just because of where they were in the regular season, but I wouldn't. Because it's Foles.
Defending Super Bowl champs, too.
There's something about Nick Foles that gets the Eagles just in a different he gives them a different mentality. There's something about him that complements the Eagles team so much better than Wentz does. And I just don't. I know Wentz's talent is undeniable. We know Wentz. We know how good he is.
I mean, they drafted him.
They drafted him with the 7th.
Yeah.
They traded up for him.
Yeah,
They got rid of
exactly.
Bradford.
Exactly.
So, but Bradford was.
He had awful.
Bradford's Brad.
Yeah.
Sam Bradford's trash. But so Carson Wentz, to me, is just not a good fit for that Eagles team. I'm not saying he's a bad quarterback.
Yeah.
I know he's a good quarterback. I'm just saying for the Eagles, if they keep him as their quarterback, they won't be making playoff runs. They need Nick Foles, in my opinion. And Nick Foles is 29, 30. Carson Wentz is 22, 23, 24.
Yeah.
Whatever.
But Nichols is not old.
Nick Foles is not old. He still has
a couple years left in him.
I would say like 5 to 7
And I think
years.
the Eagles should use that to their advantage.
Yes, and I think they should. And Wentz
What happens if they start Nick Foles the whole season? Would you be surprised if they got 11, 12 wins?
I think if they started Nick Foles, they would have won our division.
Yeah.
Like that. And I predicted the Eagles to win the division, the NFC East. Cowboys just came out of nowhere and won it, but that's because the Cowboys team is just a
And the Eagles still made it as a wild card, though.
They still
And
made
beat
They
the Bears. So
with Foles. If Wentz was in that game,
you think
I really don't think they would have won it. I just don't.
You don't think so?
Because he throws picks. Like Foles is a smart quarterback. Wentz
and has experience.
and has experience. Now, like he's a Super Bowl MVP.
Yeah.
Nick Foles.
Not a lot of people can say that.
Yeah, as a backup, he's the first backup. I'm pretty sure to win the Super Bowl MVP.
Yeah.
Carry his team. He's like they're
To
gonna
their
go.
first ever Super Bowl
Yeah,
championship.
they're gonna go to New Orleans this week.
Do you think they're gonna get killed?
I don't know about kill, but
Do you think it's gonna be a high scoring game?
no.
No.
I think the Saints are gonna beat them by 14.
All right.
But I think the Saints are gonna put up 35 and
And the Eagles put up 21.
yeah.
Okay.
That's it's like an average score.
Okay.
Game,
But you think the Saints just take it because they're at the Superdome.
yeah, and they don't lose.
And Drew Brees is Drew Brees.
And
so,
Drew Brees and Sean Payton at home in the playoffs are 5-0.
Yeah, they're
They don't
undefeated.
lose.
So finally, let me ask you this: Super Bowl predictions. Who are your two teams that are going to the Super Bowl this year?
All right.
And then I will give you mine.
Okay, I'm gonna say it's tough. I wanna put the Cowboys, but I can't.
Because
It's not gonna happen.
no biased.
I'm not being biased. I'm putting New England's gonna make it again
Okay.
because New England's New England,
Yep.
and I believe in
Tom
them.
Brady,
And
greatest player ever.
I'm not gonna pick New England to not make the Super Bowl until somebody beats them.
Tom Brady.
Yeah, and then I could finally have more of an open mind.
Yeah.
I just don't believe that any of these teams. The Chargers to me are the only team that could beat
that could
them.
be a threat to the
and they
Patriots.
play them this week, but in Foxborough they're not going to lose. And the bye week,
But Tom Brady's used to that.
Yeah, the bye week.
9 straight seasons with the bye week.
Exactly. The bye week helps certain teams more than others. That's why
like the Chiefs, it
I
might
don't
be a
think it's
bad
gonna-
week
I
for
don't
them
think
to
it's
have the
gonna
bye
help.
week.
Yeah, I don't think that bye week is going to help Mahomes at all, but I
Yeah.
think it does help Brady. So I think the Patriots are going to win the AFC.
Mhm.
And I think the Saints are going to win the NFC, and I think that's
Okay.
going to be the Super Bowl.
Okay,
and then I think Drew Brees wins the Super Bowl.
Okay. Funny you say that because we had the same prediction.
Oh yeah.
I had the Saints versus Patriots in the Super Bowl. I think for a while I had Saints Chiefs, but then the Colts won, beat the Texans, going to at Texans, beat them, play against a Mahomes who has never been in the playoffs before.
But he's an MVP quarterback.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he is MVP quarterback, but
He's going to win.
I
the
think he's
MVP.
gonna. Yeah, no, 100%. But I do have the Saints versus the Patriots, and I do have the Saints winning the championship. I think Drew Brees he is a Hall of Fame quarterback, obviously, but to submit his legacy to be a top 5 of all time, he needs to win the Super Bowl.
Well,
He is a top 5, but to actually you could put a stamp on it.
I think to cement his legacy, he needs to win the MVP.
Yeah,
but that's the only thing.
Yeah.
I don't even.
But this is a tough call because he only threw 5 picks this season, Drew Brees.
Yeah.
But Mahomes threw 50 touchdowns. So it's like,
Mahomes is going to win the MVP, but Drew Brees is going to win the Super Bowl.
So
And obviously,
you got what's the final score in that game? I would
In the
think
Super
it's
Bowl?
going to be a close game. I think it'd be like Saints win 23 to 17.
I think it's going to be more of a blowout.
You think more of a blowout? I don't
Only
know.
Because I know it's Brady, but like I said, I believe in Brady getting to the Super Bowl, right? And I know they're going to dominate the AFC as per usual. And this is a different Patriots team than we're used to. But the Saints team, their offense, Drew Brees, that offense, their running game, they have no flaws on offense. And actually, believe it or not, almost no flaws on defense. The last 8 weeks, they've been arguably a top 10 defense in the league.
They just outscore everybody.
They outscore everybody, exactly. And they beat every
And a
single
win is a
team.
win.
A win's a win, doesn't matter. They outscore every team. They're better than every team in the league, in my opinion. They're the best team in football. I won't be shocked if they lose to anybody. But it's just they're gonna. I just believe in the Saints. That offense is and the Patriots have no defense. So if that potentially is Super Bowl, Saints Patriots, the Saints are gonna beat them by a pretty good amount.
By a margin.
By a very good amount, like
Okay.
17, 20 points.
Okay.
Like,
But we both have the Saints win the Super Bowl against the Patriots.
I mean, I hope it's going to be a good Super Bowl. I
yeah,
really do.
obviously, we all hope for a good Super Bowl.
Yeah,
did you think last year was a good Super Bowl?
Yeah, I love
Yeah,
that.
exactly.
I love that shit.
Yeah. Like, do you remember when Seahawks played the Broncos?
I hated that.
Yeah, that was
a
a
terrible Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Terrible.
And
we've been lucky. Every single Super Bowl for the past couple of years, besides that Seahawks game, for a pretty
has been a good Super Bowl.
It's been good, except for that Seahawks one.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. Let's just get to award predictions for the NFL. Let's just start off MVP. Mahomes, right?
Patrick Mahomes.
Mahomes. It's either between him or Drew Brees. You know, like the only other players to have 50 touchdowns in the season were Peyton Manning and Tom Brady, and they both won MVP that season. It's like I know I'm about to compare two different sports, but it's like Westbrook in basketball averages triple double. He should win MVP almost every season, right?
Yeah.
But you know what I mean?
Season, yeah.
You know what I mean? He's averaging 20, 10, and 10, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like Patrick Mahomes. Peyton. There's only two other players to do that. Peyton Manning and Tom Brady both got 5,000 yards and 50 touchdowns, and they went on to win the MVP.
Yeah.
So, and then I think it's not discrediting Drew Brees at all.
No, I agree.
You know, Drew Brees led that Saints team to 13-3. He had almost 4,000 passing yards, 32 touchdowns, and only 5 interceptions. So his ratio, touchdown-interception ratio, is very,
he had one of the
very
best
insane
QBRs
there.
in the league.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if he ever won MVP. I don't think he's ever won MVP before, right? No.
That's the one thing that holds Drew Brees back a little bit.
And then like it was a weird statistic I was reading on ESPN. The last time the Saints went 13-3, they lost against the same 3 teams.
And they went to
Super Bowl and won.
Yeah.
And beat Peyton Manning.
Yeah.
So we think the Saints are going to win the Super Bowl, but we do not think that Drew Brees is going to get the MVP.
No.
Because of how good of a season Patrick Mahomes had.
Yeah, and I think that we all tried too hard not to give Mahomes the MVP because we all like Brees so much.
Because he's good on and off the field.
And we all want Brees to get the MVP, but it would just be unfair not to give it to Mahomes because we have to appreciate the greatness.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Defensive Player of the Year.
Aaron Donald.
Yep, Aaron Donald. I agree. 20.5 sacks this season.
That's it. Next. That's all that needs to be said. That's
back-to-back Defensive Player of the Years?
Yeah. No, well, he's in the MVP conversation too.
Yeah.
Aaron Donald. So
but it's going to be Patrick Mahomes. But
yeah, but, you know, if you're in the MVP, if anybody's talking about MVP conversation for a defensive player, you got to win Defensive Player of the Year. Next. That's it.
That's it? Aaron Donald?
Unarguable.
20.5 sacks?
Unarguable. Maybe you can say Khalil Mack just because of the impact that he's had on the Bears defense, but no.
Next.
Aaron Donald is too much of a beast.
You want to go Offensive Rookie of the Year or Rookie of the Year?
Offensive Rookie of the Year?
Let's do Offensive Rookie of the Year first.
You know, it's either... It's so hard. It's so hard. For me, it's between 3 people on offense.
Right.
It's between Baker Mayfield, Saquon Barkley, and Lamar Jackson.
Yeah. I think mostly it's between Saquon and Baker, but because Baker led that team to a team that had 0 wins last season, and made them go 7-8-1, which is not bad at all. But again, Saquon Barkley had over 2,000 scrimmage yards this season. Came I think 3rd in rushing yards behind Ezekiel second in rushing yards. Okay, so behind Ezekiel Elliott. And then right in front of Todd Gurley, who is the best running back in the league. Okay. But Todd Gurley didn't play for 3 weeks. Yeah. But then again, Saquon's only a rookie, right? You think about it. And that Giants team is awful right now. They need an offensive line. They need maybe not a quarterback. Maybe give Eli 1 more year. But they need offensive line. They need someone to protect Eli.
Yes, exactly. They have no offensive line. And I think the Offensive Rookie of the Year is going to be Baker.
Oh, okay, so you're disagreeing with me on this.
I think it's Baker.
Okay.
After, thought.
I think you need to get in line. I think you need to get in line. All right. I think it's going to be Saquon. Okay. Saquon Barkley. I'm a big Giants fan. Mm-hmm. I'm not trying to be biased. It's just this is the first time the Giants have something.
Oh, yeah.
In a very long time. Yeah. I'm not a very long time. They have Odell, who won Rookie of the Year a couple of years ago. But Saquon was an absolute monster. I remember watching the draft with my dad.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just so happy they took Saquon. I think it would have been different if the Browns didn't take Baker.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'd be like, oh, maybe they should have taken Baker, but they took Baker obviously at the first pick, and then Saquon went to the Giants, and you have the two best picks in the draft who are fighting for Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, and it makes a great story. Now, the reason why I'm disagreeing with you is because Baker Mayfield has the most touchdowns by a rookie quarterback ever, and didn't play for the first 4 weeks of the season.
Yeah.
That to me says it all. And
they were 0-16 last
season. He turned
season.
an 0-16 team into a 7-8-1 team. Now, they didn't win until he got there. They didn't beat any team until Baker got there. Tyrod Taylor, I love Tyrod Taylor. I love him a lot. I really do. Like, I'm a big Tyrod fan. But
He's been all over the place.
yeah, and I thought that he deserved
Every
that
different
starting
position.
job. Yeah, in the beginning of the season, I thought Tyrod Taylor deserved the starting job because of his track record. He led the Bills to the playoffs.
Yeah.
Tyrod Taylor, mobile quarterback, very very fast.
Yeah.
Very good. He's smart. He doesn't throw picks.
And
He's a good
he
quarterback.
doesn't complain
Yeah,
about his job.
And I'm getting a little off track, but
no, I know. It's okay.
basically, I was wrong about Baker, and I'm happy you proved me wrong. I didn't think he was going to start.
I think Baker, the problem with him is that I think Baker needs to be a little bit more humble about who he is. I think that's the problem, because I think that he doesn't have off the field problems. I think on the field, with Hugh Jackson leaving, right? And then they played the Bengals.
But his problems, like...
Yeah, but I think that's something that might hold him back. Like, you think about... Just wait a second. You think about Odell, right?
Mm-hmm.
He has so many on-the-field problems, anger issues.
And off the field.
Yeah, but he's just... I think Baker's one of those type of people that might... We don't know. He's only played one season, so we have no idea. That might let himself get the better of himself. You know what I mean by that?
Yeah,
he might become overconfident.
I get that.
But because he thinks he's so good, but that might lead him to dragging others down. Like, think of like I'm just I'm not comparing them, but I'm just saying like Odell, like when they went to the wild card and faced the Packers at Lambeau, they got destroyed, right? That year when the Cowboys went 13-3. But the day before, he was partying on a boat in Florida.
The week before.
But do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
the whole Giants team.
Exactly. So I think that Baker Mayfield's like that, and I think that's the only reason why it's something that's going to hold him back in his career. That's what I think.
I'm agreeing to disagree. I kind of understand your point with Odell and Baker. Baker's a hothead.
Yeah.
But he's a winner.
Yeah, no, he is a winner.
Saquon,
yeah,
as good as Saquon is,
they weren't winners.
They went 5-11.
Yeah.
He had an impact on that team.
Yeah.
He gave the Giants a running back.
Yeah.
What else did he give them? He's a star. I
Yeah.
get that, but what else? Did he help the Giants do anything? No.
Didn't get them to the playoffs.
Exactly. They went 5-11. The Giants drafting Saquon, they were supposed to be a playoff team this year again.
Like every year.
But they don't. And I guess the offensive line, and Saquon's a beast. I understand he's a freak. But Baker Mayfield has the most passing touchdowns by a rookie quarterback ever.
Yeah.
Didn't play till week 5. And that's beating people like Russell Wilson, Andrew Luck, like the good rookie quarterbacks, Dak Prescott.
Yeah.
Like all these people, he's better than those as a rookie.
Yeah.
He turned an 0-16 team
to 7-8-1.
And they almost made the playoffs.
Yeah.
They were, if there was an extra week in the NFL season,
Do you think they would have won?
they maybe would have made
Or
it.
if they didn't tie with the Steelers and they won that game.
If they beat the Steelers, honestly, they would be
9-7.
They would have been 8-8.
No, 8-8.
They wouldn't have made it,
But
still,
they went 500.
Browns are making the playoffs next year.
Wow. That's a bold statement.
They're gonna make it.
You think they're gonna make it?
Yeah, 100%.
And then Steelers drama now.
Yeah, Steelers. So the Steelers are not gonna be good next year.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So if you think the Browns are gonna make the playoffs, you got the Ravens though, who are probably gonna go to the playoffs. Maybe.
I don't know.
Maybe. Depends what Lamar Jackson does.
But that's why I think Baker's the rookie of the year, because his impact is so great. Like he's a winner. That's who he is, and that's why he should win rookie of the year, because he made more of an impact on that team.
Yeah.
And same thing with Lamar Jackson. He turned the Ravens, who haven't made the playoffs in a while, turned them into a playoff team.
Yeah.
And he's a Michael Vick type quarterback.
Yeah.
But that's not why he's going to win Rookie of the Year. It's gonna be Baker because of the passing touchdowns, I think, and because that he's a winner at heart, and his heart is just that dude. He's as tall as Drew Brees, and he has the heart of you said it before, Tariq Cohen, heart over height.
Yeah.
Baker Mayfield is the best representation of heart.
Yeah.
This dude, he's just I love Baker Mayfield. I love watching him play.
Yeah.
I don't like the comparisons with him and Johnny Manziel because Johnny Manziel was all whacked up. But Baker Mayfield has his head on a swivel a little more. Yes, he's a little immature with the Hugh Jackson thing.
Yeah.
I totally disagree.
But he still has so much time to grow up.
Yeah, he has time to grow up.
First year.
But now it is time to grow
Yeah,
up.
now this is the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you want to bring this Cleveland City,
Yeah.
who has had nothing besides LeBron for the past 50 years,
Yeah.
you think about it, right? If you want to bring this city up again, then they should go to the playoffs.
Yeah, I agree. I think they're going to go to the playoffs. I think Baker Mayfield's a winner. I think he's going to win Rookie of the Year because of his impact on that team. And I just don't think Saquon's going to get it. I just don't think so. Saquon's going to come number 2, but Baker's going to win
But
that
still, I
Rookie
think
of the Year.
Saquon has a lot of potential in him. Same thing with
Yeah.
Baker. Same thing with
Yeah.
Lamar Jackson. Same thing with Darius Leonard.
But convince me that Saquon should be Rookie of the Year.
I don't know if I can. I think it's just I think I'm
Well, if you
leaning.
believe in Saquon.
I do believe in Saquon, but I think I'm a little bit biased because I'm a Giants fan, and I think I'm just happy.
But it's a valid argument.
Yeah, it
that
is.
Saquon
I
wins.
just think that Saquon is, in my opinion, top 5 running back this year.
Yeah.
And you think about the great running backs. You have Zeke. You have Todd Gurley. You put Saquon in that. You have
Melvin Gordon. All these people.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So it just amazes me that you could come in as a rookie and then be considered a top 5 in this league. Like,
Yeah.
Baker's not a top 5 quarterback in the league.
No.
But that's
Yeah.
not my point. I'm just saying, he had, I think, 1,100 rushing yards and then over 1,000 receiving yards. So it's a total 2,000
Yeah,
scrimmage yards.
He was like the first
And
rookie since Dickerson.
Eric Dickerson. And that's an amazing comparison.
Yeah.
Eric Dickerson, one of the best to ever play the game.
As a running back.
Yeah, as a running back. And just to be compared to someone like that is insane. I just think that, I don't know. It's going to be a tough call. It's not clear cut, I don't think. But that's why we're arguing
it's not
about
clear
it.
cut. But exactly. And I just think that Baker's accomplishments outweigh Saquon's accomplishments. If Baker was playing for a different team, maybe I would give the nod to Saquon, maybe, but I still think that Baker's like his impact, his winning mentality, the way he goes about things, heart. That's all it is. And he's very good.
He needs to
quarterback.
grow up.
He's accurate.
Yeah.
His attitude just needs to grow up a little bit. But that doesn't
But
mean
he's got time for that.
But that doesn't mean that he's not winning Rookie
No,
of the
no,
Year.
yeah, no.
Just
no.
because he has to grow up doesn't
yeah.
mean he's not going to win Rookie of the Year.
It's going to be tough, and we won't find out, was it a week before the Super Bowl?
Yeah,
They
the
do?
night before.
Night before.
Yeah, they had
So,
the award ceremonies that night. Or the award show.
It's going to be a close one. But I think Darius Leonard.
On defense, yeah, it's got to be him.
It's gotta be him.
It's between Darius Leonard on Leighton Vander Esch for the Cowboys and Derwin James of the Chargers.
But it's got to be Darius Leonard. He made
Has to
All-Pro.
be.
He made
Yeah.
All-Pro.
But so did Derwin James.
Yeah.
I think you know how we were just debating Baker, Saquon, and then Lamar
Yeah.
was kind of left out, number
Yeah.
3. It's going to be like Darius Leonard, Derwin James, and then Leighton Vander Esch is going to kind of be forgotten a little bit.
Yeah.
But he's a freak too. But Darius Leonard, that dude wasn't even a first-round pick.
Yeah.
Kind of came out of nowhere. We didn't expect the Colts defense to be anything.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And he
we
comes
didn't
in there-
expect the Colts to be anything
Yeah,
at all.
exactly. And he came in there and turned that team around on
Yeah.
defense. He's that leader. He's the leader of that defense as a rookie.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Like, Leighton Vander Esch is not the leader of that defense.
Yeah.
Derwin James is not the leader of that
Yeah.
defense. And I know, middle linebacker is the quarterback of the defense. I
Yeah.
get that.
Yeah.
And that's what he
Like,
is.
think of, Luke Kuechly.
Yeah,
Think of,
but Darius Leonard, to me, has just he led the league in tackles as a rookie. Came way out of left field. Won the league. Led the league in tackles.
yeah.
Darius Leonard led the league in
Yeah.
tackles as a rookie.
Yeah.
He has a bunch of interceptions, sacks, deflections,
Forced fumbles,
everything you
everything,
need. Lead it, you don't go to the playoffs with a bad defense.
Yeah.
You have to go to the playoffs with at least an average defense. And
Yeah.
the fact that he leads that defense,
Yeah.
and that they held Houston to 7 points.
With that offense.
With Houston's high-powered offense, my opinion, DeAndre Hopkins, the best receiver in football.
Ooh.
Deshaun
Best
Watson,
receiver?
best receiver in football. We can talk about that in a second.
Okay.
Deshaun Watson is a freak of nature. He's a winner, but a bit of a choke art. This was his first playoff game.
Yeah, again, first playoff games.
Exactly, first playoff game. And yeah, I know I predicted. I'm a bit contradictory with my statements, but I did think Houston was going to win just because they were at home and that defense was going to carry them again. But, like, again, Deshaun Watson, this is his first playoff game, does terrible. Lamar Jackson, terrible.
Patrick Mahomes next.
Mahomes, I don't think he's going to do that good. It's just what happens in the NFL. Playoffs is a different game.
Yeah,
in the
mindset,
NFL.
different mindset.
Yeah.
It's like, I know we're talking about football, but it's like the Warriors. You think about it, they kind of like take a rest in the regular season.
Yeah.
They get to the playoffs, they're a completely different
It's
team.
LeBron James.
Exactly. Yeah.
LeBron.
Strive for greatness.
LeBron that's a problem that I have with LeBron too. LeBron,
Even though we're talking about football, I'm just giving a comparison a little bit.
like I don't want to talk about the problem I have with LeBron. But
We'll talk about that like different time.
Yeah, different time. But LeBron, he surveys the regular season
And then gets to the playoffs.
and then gets to the playoffs and kills everyone.
Yeah.
So it's like that's kind of like, like Golden State and everything. But then, I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
But like it's playoffs is a different game.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah. It's a different mindset.
Yeah.
And lastly, basically, who's the best coach this year? Who do you give it to?
Coach of the year is going to be the Colts head coach, Frank Reich.
Okay.
Or Matt Nagy
Okay.
for the Bears.
All right.
I'm going to give it to Matt Nagy.
Because they went 12-4.
Because he turned the
And
Bears
he traded
team
for
around.
Khalil Mack.
Well, he didn't trade.
Well, you know what I mean,
yeah,
but
yeah.
he accepted Khalil Mack into the system and turned him
Well,
into
he developed
Yeah.
Trubisky.
Yeah.
And that's the
Trubisky's
thing.
okay.
Trubisky's
He's
very-
an average quarterback.
I think he's a good quarterback.
You think so?
I don't think he's top 10, top 15, but he's good.
Yeah.
He's
No.
good.
Yeah, I agree with you.
He's a good quarterback. You don't go to the playoffs if you're not a good quarterback, you know?
Yeah.
Every team that made the playoffs this year has a good quarterback.
Yeah.
Every team.
No, yeah, you're right.
You don't go to the playoffs with a terrible quarterback.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I like the Bears. I like what they did this season. The Bears, I think it's going to be between Frank Reich and Matt Nagy, just because of how they did what they did to their teams. The Colts had a top 5 pick last year with Jacoby Brissett, and a different general manager. Then they bring in Frank Reich, Chris Ballard, the GM for that team. The GM for that team made big signings, drafted the right people,
Yeah.
drafted Darius Leonard,
I agree
Quentin
with
Nelson,
you. Yeah.
did all these things. Frank Reich's a very good coach. His play calling, like I said before, these people are getting
Yeah.
wide
So
open.
you just think it's between those two coaches?
Yeah, but I would give it to Matt Nagy just
Okay.
because of that. Like the Bears.
Well, because he turned the Bears into a playoff team.
the Bears were like the mockery of the NFL.
Yeah, and that's why I'm surprised. Well, I'm
Yeah.
not surprised because they did play the defending champs, but they lost.
yeah,
But on a missed field goal
yeah,
that
But-
he should have made.
yeah, and that had nothing to do with the coaching.
Yeah, no,
But,
definitely not.
Yeah.
Even you saw his face after the game.
Yeah.
He was shocked.
Yeah, he was like his jaw dropped.
Yeah.
and it was funny to see that, but at the same time, like that Matt Nagy is just a very, very, very good coach.
Yeah.
and I really like what he did and the energy and the mindset and the mentality that he brought to that
Yeah.
Bears team, because for the past 7-8 years they've been like the laughing stock of the league. With
Yeah.
Jay Cutler and
Yeah.
everything. They had
Jay
no
Cutler,
defense.
what happened to him?
Exactly. And all these people. The coach the Bears were like literally they were the laughing stock of the league. They bring in Matt Nagy, they trade for Khalil Mack, the whole new regime in Chicago.
Yeah.
They develop Trubisky, develop Cohen, develop Howard,
Yeah.
do all these things. I really like where the Bears are at, and I think the Bears are going to be a scary team in the future.
Yeah, best defense in the league this year.
Mhm.
I just want to touch up on some little bit outside of the NFL issues a little bit. Let's start off with Antonio Brown. Didn't show up for Week 17. A very big game for them to decide to go into the playoffs.
Well, he left the game early.
Yeah, and you still have, Le'Veon Bell, who didn't show up at all this season. James Conner, very good, showed up this season for that team. Ben Roethlisberger led the league in passing yards, I'm pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he did, and he hasn't lost a step.
I just think, do you think that maybe they have too many stars on that team that clash heads with each other? Or do you think it's more about, the money? What do you think is going on in the heads of Le'Veon Bell and Antonio Brown? Because, Antonio Brown plays that game, they win.
I think, yeah. No, well, he did play the game.
Yeah, but he left because he had issues.
If Le'Veon Bell plays that game, they win.
So you think that, so what do you think's going to happen?
Well, no, they did win.
No, I mean, yeah, they did win, but
They wouldn't have. They
they
missed
would have
the
had a
playoffs.
better season. Yeah.
They would have.
Yes,
They would have
yes.
made the playoffs if Le'Veon
Yeah.
Bell played the whole season.
Do you think Antonio Brown's going to get traded?
Yeah.
To what
Yeah,
team?
I don't know what team, like we would have to look at teams that need number one receivers, and I'll get to that.
Yeah.
Any team needs a number one wide receiver. And I'll get to the team, and you're gonna laugh because we've talked about this before.
Okay.
But I think the deal with the Steelers, yes, I think it may be like obviously your number one receiver and your quarterback are gonna butt heads if the receiver doesn't get enough touches.
Yeah.
But
Antonio Brown, arguably the best receiver.
yeah,
in the league.
and I don't think he is. I think it's Hopkins.
Okay.
But AB's probably number 2 or number 3, and maybe Julio Jones. But
Okay.
these people.
But you got your top 3.
Yeah, it's gonna be Hopkins, Julio, AB.
Would you put Odell in that?
I put Odell like 5.
Okay, and then who
Or
else?
6.
Who else do you have above him?
Adam Thielen I like a lot, but he didn't
have a
fell
good second
off.
half of
He
the
fell
season.
off, which is why. Devontae Adams and the Packers are a very good receiver.
He's very good.
Keenan
Allen's very good.
Keenan Allen's a very good receiver. I put Keenan Allen above Odell actually.
I just think Odell had a very bad season.
Well, yeah, because he was a crybaby.
Yeah, no, he is. He is a crybaby.
But anyway,
yeah.
So, I think the problem. I don't even know how we're even talking about this. The problem with the Steelers structure, which is like,
and that's crazy
They're the
because
most stable
they
team.
have a top 5 in each offensive position.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, Ben Roethlisberger.
Okay, top 10.
Yeah.
Top 10, Ben Roethlisberger. Obviously, Le'Veon Bell's top 5.
Mhm.
Maybe even top 3 if he was playing.
Le'Veon Bell might be number 1.
Yeah. And then Antonio Brown, top 3.
Yeah.
So
I think the problem, Le'Veon Bell. We all know the deal with Le'Veon Bell. He wants
money.
He doesn't want to keep getting franchise tagged. He wants.
Well, that's why he sat out for the rest of the season.
Yeah, because he wants to have a long-term contract with the team.
Yeah. What team do you think's going to sign him?
Well,
What is the best fit for Le'Veon Bell? Because there's going to be a team. I don't know what team it's going to be, but he wants a monster deal.
The Colts.
But what about Marlon Mack?
Le'Veon Bell's better than Marlon Mack.
You think?
You put Marlon Mack.
Yeah, obviously, I
on
agree
a
with you.
different team.
Yeah.
Without that beastly offensive line,
Yeah.
he's not going to be as good as he's doing. You put Le'Veon Bell on the Colts.
And the way he plays the game, he's so
with
patient.
Frank Reich, with Andrew Luck, with that defense. I mean, I don't see how you couldn't go to Indianapolis.
Who would they trade him for?
No, he wouldn't.
Well, no, not.
He's a free agent.
Yeah, he's a free agent.
Yeah.
So then he goes to the Colts. Does amazing. Colts go 12-4. Get the first round bye.
I think if he goes to the Colts,
They're unstoppable.
They win the AFC.
Yeah.
And that's a bold prediction again.
Because again, they went 10-6 right this season.
Yeah. They're a year too early.
And they beat the Texans, and now they're going to the Chiefs, and we think they're going to win. But that's just because I think they have a more experienced team.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, so Le'Veon Bell leaves.
Le'Veon Bell
signs a monster contract with the Colts, like a 4-year,
a long
4-year,
deal.
5-year.
He wants to be somewhere where he's loved and he wants.
He would be loved in Indianapolis.
Yeah, exactly.
He would.
He wants that long-term deal. He wants a long-term deal. He wants his money. He's gotten his money from franchise tags, but he doesn't want to keep paying.
Yeah, because I think he wants to be able to be, quote, free.
Yeah,
he wants to be able to explore his options.
Yeah.
And that's the whole reason he
Which is
sat
allowed
out.
to
And
do,
we all
yeah.
thought
But
he's
the
going to come
Steelers-
back week 8. He's going to come back week 9, and
Yeah.
he didn't. He really didn't show up at all.
The Steelers could franchise tag him again, which would be really like a big
But
F
but
you,
then that's a bad thing for them because then he's just gonna
He's gonna
sit out again.
Yeah.
And they wasted all that
exactly.
money.
And so that's Le'Veon Bell. And Antonio Brown, I think they should
I think
trade him.
I'm shocked.
Yeah, I'm a little
Antonio
shocked
Brown,
if he-
especially towards the end of the season.
Yeah.
We heard about a little beef going on.
With him and Roethlisberger.
Yeah. And then last 2 weeks was not him. Was not himself.
Mm-hmm. Because I don't think he wanted to be there. I just don't think he wants to be there.
Well,
it's clear that he doesn't want to be there. He requested a trade.
Yeah. Did you see what he said on Twitter?
Yeah.
With George Kittle
and that's
from the
that's
49ers?
What I was gonna say. I don't want to go by these Twitter things.
Yeah, no, obviously because it doesn't mean anything
but
really.
San Francisco, I know that there's a bad team. I understand that,
But you think that's a good fit for him?
if Garoppolo comes back,
Well, they have no wide receiver.
Yeah, and if Garoppolo comes
And
back, I think
they have a top 3 tight end.
yeah, Kittle's a Pro Bowler this year. So it's I really
Jimmy
think
G.
if Jimmy G comes back
And plays
with
the
that
way he
team-
played, not this season,
but the
last season,
before,
yeah.
where they went on that 6-0 run.
Yeah.
He turned that team. They were 1-10. They
Yeah.
went 6-10.
Yeah.
Or 1 whatever it was.
Yeah, no, but they finished off the season very strong.
Yeah, they won 5 games in
Yeah.
a row or 6 games in a row.
Yeah.
I like Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yeah.
I don't think he should be one of the highest paid quarterbacks in the
Yeah.
league. I think that's
It's
blasphemous,
there's
but
interesting statistic. The highest paid quarterbacks in the league this year.
None of them made the
None of them made
playoffs, yeah.
playoffs. Think about
Rodgers,
Stafford, yep.
Garoppolo, Ryan,
Yep.
Carr.
Yep.
None of them made
And
it.
even though he got cut, Sam Bradford was one of the high-paying quarterbacks. He was getting paid, I could be wrong, so don't quote me on this, over $20 million a year. And they cut Bradford, yes. Bradford. And I could be wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure. And they cut him for Josh Rosen, right? Who, at the beginning of the draft, said everybody's going to regret it. No one regretted it because they went 3-13. And they were the worst team in the NFL.
That was a shock to me, the Cardinals. I thought they were going to be bad, but not 3-13. But Antonio Brown, he has to go. The Steelers.
Is it like rebuilding time for the Steelers? Ben Roethlisberger's getting old in age.
I don't know because Juju Smith-Schuster could be.
He's very good.
He could be a number one receiver on that team.
Yeah, well, he kind of was basically a little bit.
This season, he kind of overtook. He didn't overtake
Antonio
Brown.
But he had over 1,000 yards.
Yeah, him and Roethlisberger, I think, just connect more.
And you think that made Antonio Brown sort of jealous or mad or like?
I wouldn't say jealous
because he's.
I would say envious and aggravated because he's not getting enough touches. I just think the Steelers it would be in their best interest as a football team to trade him because all he's doing is causing problems.
They're gonna get a lot for him too.
Yeah. They're gonna get a lot of value. He's second best receiver, third best receiver in the league. There's a category. I do this category with receivers. It's mature receivers and like immature receivers. And
Antonio Brown's in that immature. It's
Antonio
him and
Brown,
Odell.
Yeah, I was about to, Antonio Brown and Odell Beckham are in that conversation. Yeah. They're a little whiny and they're a little annoying and they're a little
when they don't get what they want. Yeah, it's like a 5-year-old going to the toy store and doesn't get what he wants.
Exactly, it's one of those type of things. It's like
and saying that from a Giants fan perspective.
You don't need that. And clearly, if they don't want to be there,
and get rid of them.
And
you're going to get so much for them, whether that be picks, whether that be a star player, whoever you need, especially Antonio Brown, arguably the best receiver in the league. You're going to get a lot for him. You're going to get a lot for him. Yeah. And I think if the Steelers are going to do it, they have to do it now. Or, after the Super Bowl.
They can't. They got to do it by March. I think. But
you know what I mean. They have to do it now. Yeah. They have to do it.
Yeah, because he won't play for them.
They do it next year. What happens if Antonio Brown wants to sit out next season?
That's what I think might happen. I mean, it seems like there's just dysfunction with the Steelers, and it doesn't make dysfunction with the Pittsburgh Steelers, who is like the most structural team.
Who are Super Bowl contenders almost every single year.
Exactly, and they didn't this year.
And now are going down the drain.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and They need as much as they need Le'Veon Bell and Antonio Brown to succeed. They can.
You think their time's up in Pittsburgh?
Yeah, because I just don't think it's good for them. I think it's bad for both sides. They're there because Le'Veon Bell's gonna drama.
Yeah.
Le'Veon Bell has drama with him, and then so does Antonio Brown. And it's. I think the receivers that got their heads on straight is Hopkins, like DeAndre Hopkins, Keenan Allen, Julio Jones. Like those three are like, they just do. They go out there.
Especially Julio Jones.
Complain.
He caught touchdowns this season,
exactly,
Joe.
Finally. And Hopkins didn't drop a pass. And he's not complaining, and
because those people, they accept their role.
Yeah. And
they accept. And I just think that, coming from a Giants fan, I don't know if we should have gave Odell that much money. It was a huge contract. And he might not even be a top 3 wide receiver in the league. Maybe not. He could be number 3.
He deserves his money, but he wouldn't if he didn't make that one-handed catch.
Yeah, he wouldn't be who he was. It's like Nick Foles, right? Nick Foles didn't drive that team to Super Bowl. No one knows who Nick Foles is.
Exactly.
Like, it's like Santonio Holmes, right? Super Bowl. People knew who he was, but not until he made that catch.
Yeah.
You just think about, David Tyree. Helmet catch, right? Nobody knew who that guy was.
But he didn't. But get
the
money
I'm just saying. I'm just talking about people who nobody knows who they are, and then all of a sudden they do something, and
like Odell. The thing that was good about OBJ is that he kind of back that catch. It defined him. It defines him still.
Yeah.
But he's still when people talk about him, he still gets regarded as one of the quickest receivers, one of the best receivers in the league. Yeah. Not just because of that catch, but people say he's the number 1 receiver in the league.
No, I don't think so. And missed most of the season. Got hurt.
Because of injury.
Yeah.
So.
And got hurt last year.
Yeah.
And when he doesn't get hurt, he complains on the sideline and kicks the field goal net. Yeah. So, because, Eli's very streaky, obviously. Beat Tom Brady in the Super Bowl twice, and then after that, went completely downhill. He went from a Hall of Fame potential quarterback to.
I think he's going to be.
You think
he's,
Hall of
he's a
Fame?
lock.
Obviously not.
He's a lock.
Who?
Eli Manning.
Eli Manning.
He's a lock.
So it's like this category, right? You had, what was it, 2003 the draft with them? It was him, Roethlisberger, and Phillip Rivers, right? All three of those players are mostly Hall of Famers, right?
They're all famous,
Eli
I think.
and Roethlisberger, kind of the same players. They both won 2 Super Bowls. Both won,
They didn't win MVPs.
Yeah,
but
no, they didn't win MVPs, but Eli's the 2 Super Bowl MVPs. I think Roethlisberger might have won because Antonio Holmes won that one. And then you have Phillip Rivers, who's never even been to the Super Bowl.
Mhm.
It's like if Roethlisberger goes in, then Eli and Phillip Rivers go in. I think they're just like all in that category, even though Eli has had not the best 3-4 years, these past 3 or 4 years. I think
the only thing that knocks Eli, in my opinion,
is his interceptions.
is his interceptions. Is he's a choker, and the problem with him is that the years that he doesn't go to the Super Bowl, right?
Mhm.
That they don't that they don't go to the Super Bowl,
Yeah.
or they don't make playoff runs, they do terrible. They don't win, so
Yeah.
he doesn't win games.
Yeah, you're right. He's not a winner.
Yeah, he
Is
those
Phillip
2
Rivers
Super
a
Bowls-
winner?
Yeah,
Yeah. Is Brent Roethlisberger a winner?
yeah. Obviously,
Yeah.
Roethlisberger is the better of the three, in my opinion.
I agree with you on that.
But Eli, he's a Hall of Fame lock,
Yeah,
not first ballot. He's gonna make the Hall of Fame.
eventually.
But the only thing that's gonna harness his legacy is that the years that he didn't go to the Super Bowl, let's say,
Yeah.
they didn't go positive.
They-
They didn't
yeah.
have a winning record.
Yeah, so the 2 years he didn't go to the Super Bowl, they went 7-9.
Yeah.
They went 6-10. They went
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
No, I agree with you on that.
Yeah.
Completely. It's just this off season is going to be very interesting.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what happens.
I think that there's a lot to expect from especially Antonio Brown. I think we're just all waiting for that.
Yeah.
Waiting for what's to come with him because it's just like we said, unexpected that he did that.
Yeah.
I can't really think of big free agents this year.
Le'Veon Bell.
Le'Veon Bell, obviously, but we talked about him. I honestly, it's just it's weird to think that the biggest free agents, the biggest problems are on the Steelers right now,
Yeah.
and that's a problem.
Yeah, I
That's
agree.
a problem.
I agree.
It's just insane. I just think that it's time to go. It's time for the Steelers to maybe rebuild after Roethlisberger retires. It's time to just start that team from scratch again. And it's sad to say.
Soon.
No, I know. Not
next
saying
year.
not saying next year. Give it 3 years.
Yeah. Because Roethlisberger wants an extension.
Yeah, I know. But he's what, 36, 37?
He's pretty old.
Yeah, exactly. So plays until he's 40, right?
I don't know
And
about
then-
40, but he's
But
tough.
39, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And then that team, that's it for that team.
So what do you think? I want to talk about a different topic. What do you
All right.
think is the most attractive team that, if you were a head coach and you, if you're a, you know what I'm trying to say. If you just got fired as a head, if you're, oh my God, I'm saying it wrong.
So,
If you're looking to become a head coach, or Josh McDaniels is getting looked at by coaches.
yeah.
So there's 8 teams.
So what team?
So
do you
yeah,
think?
what team is the most attractive? There, I'll tell you the 8 teams.
All right, go for it.
The most attractive landing spot for
All
a
right.
coach.
All right.
The Browns.
Yep.
The Bengals.
Yep.
The Jets.
Yep.
The Cardinals. The Bucks. The Packers. The Dolphins. And the Broncos.
What team's more attractive?
Yeah.
I think it's between the Browns and the Packers.
Browns and the Packers.
I think it's
okay.
between the Browns and the Packers. I'll
Why?
tell you why. Browns, starting off with all these rookies, and look at them. They went 7-8-1. Who wouldn't want to be part of that, the rise of Cleveland, right? The city that hasn't been great since LeBron.
Yeah.
Just who wouldn't want to be a part of something that historic?
Yeah.
That sentimental.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? Can you remember a time when the Browns went really far into the playoffs? No, right? We weren't even alive.
Yeah,
probably.
exactly. I can't remember anything.
So I just think that to be a part of that, and let's just say they hire a good head coach, right, this offseason, and then they go 9-7 and make the wild card, right? Just to be a part of that would be
awesome.
be awesome. And the Packers is my next pick because I'll tell you why. Because Aaron Rodgers. Who wouldn't love to coach that? Right? Who wouldn't love to coach one of the top QBs of all time, right? And, Devontae Adams, great season. Now, they didn't have a good season, but if you could be a coach and you could bring that team around and Aaron Rodgers can get healthy before the start of next season and you go 10-6 or 11-5 and you win your division, you're going to get that contract extension.
Oh, yeah, definitely. No,
So I just think that those are the two best landing spots.
But if you had to pick between one of them, which one would it be?
I would say the Browns.
The Browns?
I would definitely say the Browns. The Browns shocked me.
Yeah.
Shocked everybody this
Yeah.
season. They won 7 games.
Yeah.
Last year they won 0, and I think the year before that they won 1.
Yeah.
So, and they've had a QB problem forever.
And they finally got their guy.
Forever they've had a QB
Yeah.
problem. And now they have Baker Mayfield,
Who's their quarterback?
yeah, and potentially might win Rookie of the Year. So
I think he will.
I think that I would want to be the Browns quarterback.
I disagree.
Head coach.
I disagree.
You disagree with me.
But
do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
That's-
I agree. I get your point. So the Bengals, I would never want to go there.
Yeah, exactly.
With what they have going, the Cardinals, I would never want to go there. The Bucks, don't even get me started with Winston and Fitzpatrick. The Dolphins, that maybe, but no. The Broncos, they just, I feel like they're going to start to rebuild. Now, for me, it's between the Jets and the Browns, not even the Packers, because if you're a coach, and Mike McCarthy was a reputable head coach.
Yeah, I'm still shocked that they fired him.
Well, Rodgers was like changing the play calls, and they still now okay.
But just my point about the Packers, like who wouldn't want to coach a great?
Yeah, no, exactly.
Like,
I understand.
Yeah.
But if Rodgers is great,
yeah,
right?
then make his team great.
Why do they only win 6 games?
Yeah. No, I agree with you.
Or
Yeah.
7 games?
Yeah.
He's not that like. It
I just
has
think
to
that
fall
I
on the
would-
quarterback.
Yeah, I just think that I would just like to coach greatness.
Yeah, but
You know what I
if
mean?
you're going to coach greatness, then
then you have to be great.
You have to have
Yeah.
expectations
Yeah.
to win.
Yeah.
And now, for me, I would love to coach the Jets.
Yeah.
I'm not coaching the Jets. I'm not coaching the. I mean, I would love to coach the Jets. Now, I get it. The Browns. I rave over Baker Mayfield. I love Baker Mayfield. I love the defense. I love I just love their wide receivers. I love all their players. They're tough, gritty, heart. They play with just
Yeah.
tremendous
Yeah.
fiery energy, and I
Yeah.
love it. I would love
They
to be a
came
part
out of
of
the
that.
season heads high.
Yeah,
This year.
But the
so.
Jets, that team. First of all, it's New York.
So what I want
It's
Big
New York.
Apple. It's the Big
New
Apple.
York. Sam Darnold.
Yeah. See, that's the thing with
That's a question mark, but he showed so much promise
Mm-hmm.
to be like a big time quarterback.
Yeah.
Like he's that pocket passer type quarterback
Yeah.
that could win
and he had
games
an
for you.
okay season.
He had a pretty good.
He had a good season.
He had a pretty good rookie season. He led the league in picks. I
Yeah.
understand that.
Yeah.
But usually that should happen with a
Yeah.
rookie. Now next year, I would love to coach the Jets.
Yeah.
They have that defense
Yeah.
that they have on the Jets. They have Jamal Adams, who
Yeah.
made the Pro Bowl. Leonard Williams is a very good defensive tackle.
Yep.
They have a lot of promise. The Jets
Yeah.
have a lot of promise.
Yeah.
And I would love to be a part of that. I
Yeah.
would love to be a part of the Jets.
Yeah.
They just have so many the Jets could. They are a bad team, but if I'm a coach, I look at that Jets and say, wow, give me 2-3 years. I'll sign a 3-year deal with you. Give me 3 years to turn this team around.
It's like
They'll
Todd
be a
Bowles.
playoff.
Todd
Yeah,
Bowles.
well, he got fired.
Yeah, but no, you know what I'm saying? Like, the first year came, right? They went 10-6. They didn't make
Yeah.
the playoffs. And after that, under 500.
Because he was a bad head coach.
Yeah.
And they didn't have all the pieces necessary.
Do you think they have the pieces now?
I do.
Since they got Sam Darnold?
If the Jets hire the right head coach
Yep.
and they bring in a couple of free agents, draft the right players,
Yep.
do what they need to do. Because now the difference is between Bowles' hiring and the next head coach's hiring is that when Bowles came in, they didn't have a young quarterback. They
Yeah.
had Fitzpatrick.
Yeah.
They had whoever the other quarterback was. They had Fitzpatrick when Bowles came in.
Yep.
And now Bowles leaves, and this next coach that can come in
They
for them
had,
says
Geno Smith.
they had Geno Smith, and now but this next head coach can come in and say, look, Sam Darnold is the Jets quarterback of the future. Everyone raved about him in college.
Yeah.
Raved about him. He was supposed to be the best quarterback of the draft. It was Baker, but he's
Yeah.
number 2.
Yeah.
No, he's number 3. Lamar Jackson.
Lamar
number 2.
Jackson's number
So,
1.
but Sam Darnold has the most potential to be great.
Yeah.
To be a Super Bowl champion
Yeah.
than any other quarterback of the draft. And any other quarterback of any of these teams,
Yeah,
in my
no, I
opinion.
agree with you.
Aaron Rodgers, He's going to retire in the next 3 years.
Yeah, he's old.
I mean,
And he just signed that super.
Yeah, he just signed.
I do not think he deserved that contract.
I think he did.
I don't
think he
so.
did.
I
Why?
think there's. Just look at this season. Why?
No, yeah,
He did get hurt. They get hurt twice.
Mm-hmm.
But
I think he
I think
deserved
there's
it.
in front of like, where would you put him in the best quarterbacks in the league? What number? Rank the best quarterbacks in the league, and then tell me where you put Rodgers.
Mahomes number 1
Okay.
this season.
This season.
Number 2.
Like, is Rodgers in your top 5 this season?
I don't know. It would be tough. Not in any order. Because I don't know. It would be Mahomes, Luck,
Breeze,
Brady. No,
Not Brady.
Rodgers. Brady is not a top 5 quarterback this year. Rodgers
this
and
year.
Russell Wilson.
You would still put Rodgers this year?
And
He's
Jared
the biggest-
Goff is better than
Yeah.
Jared Goff might be. Maybe Jared Goff I could give a nod to
Okay.
over Rodgers, but Rodgers was very good this year.
He just they only
He was
won
good.
6
He just
games.
didn't win. He's
Yeah.
not. That's the problem. That's
I
just
think
why-
he cared more about the money this year.
Yeah, I think so too. I
And
agree.
that's sad to
Yeah.
think about, right? He's been there his whole career, right?
Yeah. And they only have 1 Super Bowl. It's just, if you're supposed to be the greatest quarterback of all time, you have to win.
Yeah, Tom Brady.
You
He's
have
a winner.
to win. Yeah.
Tom Brady's the winner.
Like, if
Drew
you-
Brees is a winner. He's a
Yeah.
winner, but he doesn't win in the playoffs.
Yeah. Like, Aaron Rodgers is going to go down as, he's going to go down in history.
As one of the greatest quarterbacks to only win like one Super Bowl.
How do you do that? You're supposed to be the best.
Are the best.
If all these people, you got to at least make the playoffs.
Yeah.
Don't be a loser. And he's a loser.
Yeah, no, I agree with you.
And that's the problem with Rodgers. But I would just love to coach the Jets because I see more promise in the Jets in the next couple years.
I completely agree with you, Joe. I 100% agree.
Mm.
But I think that brings this podcast to an end today. I think it was a great first podcast. Thank you for joining me on the first episode.
Of course.
Many more to come.
Definitely.
I don't see why. Bring out another one next couple days. Talk about this week's matchup, and even talk about the NBA a little
We'll
bit,
get into the
right?
NBA, yeah.
We'll get into the NBA.
Sorry that we did not. We got a little
we got caught up in the
football.
NFL,
But
but
there's more football news at this point in the year.
Yeah.
Than there is
because
for
Super Bowl
basketball.
playoffs.
Yeah.
It's only mid-season for the NBA.
Yeah.
But guys, this was Get in Line. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Tyler Zukowski,
I'm Joe Viglucci.
and we'll see you next time on our podcast.
Thank you.